Here at the Banff Centre for Arts and Creativity, there is so much unique training that can happen for the next generation of theatre artists. It goes far beyond the stage to include those who are working behind the scenes to ensure that everyone is pulling off the best possible show that they can. Two of the stage managers in training here at the Banff Centre this month are Keely McPeek and Kate Pasula. Thank you guys so much for joining us.
Hello, thank you for having us.
So maybe I'll start with you, Kate. What was your sort of theater experience coming into Banff, and what did you hope that you were going to get out of this experience?
Yeah, thank you, Nolan. So I am first and foremost a theater performer. I grew up performing. I'm a choral singer, so most of my performance experience has been with choir. And then I got into stage management because I did a minor in theater during my undergrad. And I had an excellent professor who worked in industry who UBC brought in to teach us. And her and I ended up getting along and hang out after class and talked to her, and she invited me to a few shows that she was stage managing. And then after that, I stage managed my first show under her mentorship in Vancouver. So that was my stage management experience.
Amazing.
Coming here. And yeah.
And then you're hoping to get something out. What were you hoping to take away from your experience here in Banff?
Yeah. Well, already we've been connected with so many incredible people. I also have worked a little bit in wardrobe, and I am the wardrobe ASM here. So I'm happy to connect with all of the incredible people working in wardrobe, to connect with Leslie Bradley, who is the stage manager at Canadian Opera Company in Toronto. And I've already learned so much. We were thrown right into it. So yeah, it was a bit of a learning curve during the first couple of weeks, but now I feel like we've gone around locked, don't you think?
These two are not kidding. They have been running nonstop, and I don't know if you can hear the noise behind us, but we are right in the middle of a break, and these guys have graciously agreed to give us an interview. Classic 107 listeners will be familiar, of course, with Keely McPeek, who is a longtime performer in the city of Winnipeg, and also bringing a new skill to her vast skill set by training as a stage manager here at the Banff Centre. What were you hoping to get out of this experience, Keely?
So generally I'm a performer in this world. And this year I've kind of been trying adjacent performing jobs. So I was a development assistant at Manitoba Opera for a little bit this year. And when I was in school at University of Manitoba, I had a theater minor, and it was Zoom year, so I stage managed 2 shows on Zoom. And
Wow.
And so I just wanted to try it out in real life. So I thought this would be a beautiful place to learn how to stage manage and see if it was something that I wanted to continue with. And I really like it so far.
There's a new sort of school of thought, relatively new school of thought in theater circles, that the more sort of diverse your portfolio is, the more likely you are to stay in the theater realm. What is that sort of diversification of skills mean for you in your career, Keely, as you're thinking about the next year, 5 years, 10 years of your life?
I've been doing a lot of thinking about what I really like about theater and opera and performing and stuff. A big part of what I really like is just being around it and like being in the room. I love being in a rehearsal room. I love the whole process. So I'm kind of just trying to find any way to be in the room, and this is just another way of like being around it with like it's hard to be a full-time performer.
Yes.
So I think having other skills and seeing from the other side of the table, seeing how, because if you're only a performer, I feel like you're kind of just stuck on the one thing. But
maybe we can build a bit on that, Kate, to say that as you've been behind the table, as you've been working backstage, what are some things that maybe surprised you about this role in putting a production together that maybe you wouldn't have found out if you had been purely a performer?
Yeah, wow. Well, so much goes on. Keely and I have been working so hard with the production team behind the scenes. And then most of the time, I mean, the performers are doing their own work. Like, they're preparing something completely different from what we are. But the performers come in after so many extra hours of prepping the stage, spiking the stage, extra meetings to make sure every single thing has fallen into place seamlessly. So that's great to know. Like, as a performer now, when we enter those spaces, we can go, wow, this all went really well. Or when it isn't going so well, to also look to the production crew and, I don't know. Yeah, even just hold that knowledge.
Absolutely, especially when you get back to the stage, that's super valuable. Maybe we can even flip that coin the other way, and I'll ask this of you, of Keely, in a second, to say that what is it when you go back to the stage as a performer, which undoubtedly you both will, what do you think your performances will look like now, knowing all of these other things that you have been working on here at the Banff Centre as you develop these skills as stage managers?
Oh, I think I'll just have a lot deeper of a sense of gratitude for everything that has gone on. And not that the performers aren't grateful, but I think just seeing every single thing that goes on behind the scenes. I mean, I'm working largely in wardrobe.
Yeah.
Keely's working largely in props. And yeah, the time and the detail and the incredible, like, artistic pursuit of all those different things has been so beautiful to watch.
Absolutely. What about for you, Keely? What do you think when you return to a stage, undoubtedly in Winnipeg in the near future, what do you think that performance will look like now after you've had this experience as a stage manager here at the Banff Centre?
I'm thinking doing all these different things gives me more of a full understanding of like everything that goes into a production. And now I know like the comms that you see stage managers wearing, it's like a little headset and microphone. Now I know if I'm a performer, I shouldn't talk to the stage manager. Well, because there's people also speaking to me. I think the most important thing that I'm learning is how to be like a better colleague to everybody. And I think that's really important to be as a performer, and it's something that we often look past. And I think now having a full understanding of everything else that happens, now I can be a better colleague to the whole team.
As you contemplate the next steps in your career here, Keely, and you think about what percentage of time you're spending doing each of the things that you've done. You mentioned you worked in the development office at Manitoba Opera. Now you've got stage managing under your belt. Obviously, we've talked about your performing quite a bit. What percentage do you think that stage management will take up in in your actual career, and how much do you think that that's something that you will want to even pursue as a more fulsome part of your portfolio after you leave the mountains?
It's really hard to predict these things.
Sure.
But I kind of just go wherever the wind takes me. That's how I got here. That's how I was a development assistant. Maybe I'll say how much I want it to.
Sure.
I think maybe a good like 20%.
20%.
Yeah.
We'll take it. We'll take
Yeah.
it. What about for you, Kate, as you contemplate the next steps in your career, knowing all the things that you know now about what being a stage manager takes, especially in crazy circumstances like those here at the Banff Centre with a very technical show like The Handmaid's Tale, what sorts of opportunities will you maybe look to pursue now that you have this skill set in your tool belt?
Yeah, well, I feel like my abilities have expanded. I worked on a smaller production in Vancouver where I wasn't responsible for so many things. So now I do feel like I'm able to take on, like you said, a bigger, more complex show. And I'll know what that looks like. So I do feel like I have the opportunity to apply to things like that. This is my first opera to stage manage, which is a very different thing. You cue performers, which you don't do in any other discipline.
Sure.
Yeah, so we will see. I don't know.
I gave you both the crystal ball, and you handled it with wonderful grace. Maybe a last question to the both of you, and I'll start with you on this one, Kate, which is that there are a lot of people who are trying to pursue a career in the performing arts, but are maybe a little bit more hesitant to try different things within the performing arts sort of career writ large for fear that it takes maybe something away from their performing experience. What would you say to those people who are maybe looking to stay in the room where it happens, as Keely said before, but maybe are afraid of diluting their artistry, their skill set?
Oh, I was one of those people. But I don't know, like Keely said, it's such a gift to be in the room, like no matter what you're doing, to be a part of the process and to meet all of the people and to see a different side of things. Like it's such a gift to go into the wardrobe shop and to go into the prop shop and like really see the nitty gritty details of the work that goes on in those places.
Sure.
So I think it's been a gift and a treat.
Absolutely.
To go see those things.
Absolutely. What about for you, Keely, as you're thinking about that performer who is maybe wanting to diversify that skill set, but is maybe a little bit hesitant?
I think to be a good performer, I think you need life experience besides performing. Because then you have things to put into your performances. If you're only performing and that's all you're doing, I feel like that's kind of all you know. And yeah, to be in more rooms, you meet more people, and then you have more people to put into your performances and ideas. And
For sure.
Yeah.
Amazing to hear both of your perspectives, and it sounds like we have 2 new accomplished stage managers coming soon to a Canadian theatre near you, Keely McPeek and Keely McPeek and Kate. I know. I was thinking about Kate's name ahead of time, and then I started saying it ahead of time. Keely McPeek and Kate Pasula, thank you so much for telling us more about the work you're doing here at the Banff Centre and for lifting the curtain on this incredible job.
Thank you.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you for